guys, it's Brooke with SupertutorTV. Are you wondering what colleges are really looking for? Are you trying to go through this process and figure out like, what do I need to get into college? In this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try to answer the question, what are colleges really looking for? I'm gonna go through some basic points of what colleges want to see from you and what matters in the college application process. Before we get started, I recommend that you subscribe to our channel. All you have to do is click subscribe, it's below this video. And the other thing that I recommend you do is subscribe to our mailing list. You can find that at SupertutorTV.com/subscribe. So what are colleges really looking for? This is a question that I get a lot of times from my students. Some of my students are test prep students and we're working on ACT or SAT prep. And during that process, they start to think, oh my gosh, like what do I have to do to get into college other than just like this standardized test stuff, right? What are the ingredients? What do they care about? And how does it all work? In general, what I would say is three things that are sort of fuzzy elements that colleges are looking for. And these are probably competitive colleges. And those are one, colleges generally want students who are going to change the world. If you are going to become the next big thing in the world, if you're going to become somebody who's a leader, whether it's in the arts or in thought or in business, colleges want to claim you as their own down the line. They want alumni who are doing awesome things and making our world a better place. The second thing that colleges are looking for is they're looking for people who have what I call a passion for learning. You could call this intellectual vitality. You could call it a natural sense of curiosity. You could call it people who want to learn for learning's sake. But no matter what you call it, the idea is that they want students who value intellectual inquiry. They want students who are interested in ideas, because ideas are what shape our world and our society. And they want students who want to be a part of those ideas. And third, colleges want students who are capable of achieving great things. They want people who have the chops, who've worked hard, who know how to work hard, who are capable, who are competent. That's what colleges are looking for, but how do you prove to a college that you've got all that? How do you prove to a college that you're gonna be that kind of a person after you graduate or while you're in school? And that is a little bit tougher, but basically it comes down to 5 things. These are more practical things. These are basically the things that are gonna go into your application that are going to prove to colleges that you are those 3 things. So that's the vision and that's the message that you want to project to colleges, just to give you a heads up. That's actually what they're looking for. So now what I'm going to talk about is all of the more tangible things that you're going to do to try to get into college. Number 1, grades matter. This is your GPA. Your GPA totally matters, and at some colleges it matters more than anything else. 2, test scores matter. It does matter what you do on these standardized tests at most schools. Sure, there's a few schools that don't require tests, but for the most part, at most competitive colleges and universities, your test scores are going to be taken into account, and even at schools where tests are optional, oftentimes they're considered. Number 3, involvement matters. Involvement is basically like extracurricular activities for most high school students, but involvement could also be other activities or pursuits that you do outside of school or endeavors that you've engaged in some way. You have to be involved. You have to engage in your world. You have to go out and take life by the horns and do something. That's involvement. Involvement matters. 4, passion matters. And what I mean by passion is you have to have something that you're interested in. You can't be completely apathetic. It doesn't mean there's only one thing you're interested in, but you have to have at least something or a few things that interest you. You have to be somebody who has desire. And then 5 is basically total essay stuff, which is vision matters. And what I mean by vision is you have to have an understanding of yourself, of who you've been in high school, and an understanding of where you want to go, of who you want to be in college or beyond. And you've got to tell that story to colleges in your essays. That vision matters so much. And what I would say is students who don't have passion and vision, but have awesome grades and awesome test scores and great activities, oftentimes they don't get into their first choice schools. They don't get into Harvard, they don't get into Stanford, they don't get into those schools because they are missing this vital piece. So it's really important that you have some perspective on your life and that you have passion, that you've got that like inspirational part too, so that you can see like, here's what I want and here's what I love. That you can express those and that you can express them on paper as somebody who's writing essays. So essays really matter a lot. So I have a lot of students ask me, is it okay if I don't have the grades and the test scores, but I have an awesome essay? My general rule of thumb is that at really competitive schools, you basically have to have almost every box checked off. Occasionally, yes, if you're really outstanding in this category, you can be a little less impressive over here. And the other thing is I want to just go back to those original 3 ideas that I talked about. If you're going to get away with something in those other 5 categories that is a little bit shakier, isn't as impressive, that just means that you've got to convince colleges of those first 3 things in some other way. And finally, the last thing that I'll say is every college is a little bit different. So I'm generalizing for all colleges right now, but some colleges are going to value one thing over another, right? Like a big state school might value your GPA and your test scores way more than all this other stuff because they don't have the budget to actually read through a ton of essays or applications, right? Whereas a school like the University of Chicago or Stanford might be a little bit more of a wildcard school in which they're really looking for game changers, out-of-the-box thinkers, and entrepreneurs. And they might choose some people who may seem to have kind of inconsistent records in some ways, but are outstanding in one category, and in another category they're kind of fuzzy. And they'd rather have somebody like that because they think that person's more interesting than somebody who's just pretty solid and great across the board. So really depends on the school. That's about it for today. I hope this helps you as you try to frame yourself in this college application process and this preparation phase of trying to get ready for college and make sure that you've checked off all your boxes and you've done everything right. Check out our social media. Check out some more of our videos here at SupertutorTV.com. If you happen to be prepping for the ACT, definitely go check out our website, SupertutorTV.com. We've got an awesome ACT prep series you guys should check out. And I will see all of you next time on Super Tutor TV. Thanks for watching. Ciao.